from Audio Addiction. Welcome to the channel. If you are new, thank you for watching the video. If you're old, thank you for coming back. I love this. I've been going absolutely bonkers with more reaction videos recently, so and live like album reviews and stuff. So if you've checked out any of the stuff today, God bless, because I just did one for Of Virtue. Their new album Omen just came out as well, so if you want to check that out. And the night before, technically this morning at midnight, I did Sentinels. So boys cooking, that's all I'm gonna say. So wanted to jump into this album. I had Tyler on back in 2020, basically when Loose Threads had just come out or was just about to come out, and it was great talking with him. And I did check out The Price of Dreaming. I never recorded a video on it. Just for whatever reason, I just never got around to it. Maybe I was just really busy, honestly. And that's typically what happens. I always try to do it with good intentions, but sometimes it just doesn't always wind up working out. But I wanted to check this one out because I had a lot of free time this past week, and I wanted to do this live, and since the album came out today, I wanted to check it out today. And yeah, so maybe there might be another live tonight, a little later on today. There might be some over the weekend as well too, but wanted to check this out, do it live, and jump into it, because I have not listened to any of the singles. I have not listened to anything, nothing new from what they've done, but I know that they've done some songs with their previous vocalist, Dakota. JT, as you can see from Eras, on one of the tracks as well. I'm just curious because basically it's the Lee and Tyler show right now, so curious to see how much they've changed and go through the entire album. So if you like it, check the links below. You can go pick it up. Big shout outs to Unified. They did not send this to me. I think Adam Splitter sent it to me, so big ups to them. But I also know they work with Unified as well. So very cool. We're going to jump into the first one, which is The Fear Of. I have not listened to any of it, so let's get into this first song and see what it's about. All right. Ooh. I like that electronic element. Okay. This is sounding so sick already. I love that like high fry scream. Oh, that was clean. like how that opens up. Nice build in. Okay. Wow, that double bass at the end? Holy shit. Drumming's awesome in this song. I think I want to say I want to say I forget who did it. I know who did the drums on this, and I can't remember it off the top of my head. But this is The Fear Of. Very good. I like this. I also like that they I like theming wise, I like they split up the songs, so The Fear Of and then Letting Go is the final song on the album. I like that. That's really neat. The song itself, I feel like most people would probably be surprised that that Tyler is singing. I'm not really as surprised because I remember, again, in like Loose Threads and Still Life, I remember he did a lot of the clean singing, so I'm not really surprised by the fact that he can clean sing. But I do like his clean tonality. I think he's become much better of a vocalist, not only from like the screaming end of things, but also I think clean vocally. I think he's definitely got a great, like, solid tone. Reminds me a lot of like Dave from We Came as Romans. I think he's really improved vocally a ton, which got to give him a lot of kudos for, because he sounds great. And I don't think he's like trying to do anything crazy. It's just a really, really solid, like, it's a solid vocal performance. So I got to give him that. But I think in terms of the screaming, he is elevated so much more. I love his like kind of like high, like Fry screaming, but I also really enjoy his lows and like his mid tones. He really kind of knows how to know what to fit what narrative, and I think obviously working very closely with Lee as well, I think it definitely helps out in the overall like the overall like writing in the way that the songs are styled. So I really enjoy that a ton. I'd also say just like the overall inclusion of electronics, I feel like that wasn't as much in, I mean, maybe a little bit in The Price of Dreaming, but I feel like even in like previous material they didn't have as much of that, and I like that kind of fills in the gaps a little bit more, especially within this song. I think it does a really great job of hitting those, especially in the chorus. I think is where you hear it more prevalently, and you can really feel like a lot of the cool like musical textures of that. So I really appreciate that a ton, and I imagine it's going to be kind of more of a staple point within this album. So definitely something really cool to point out. Guitar riffs are really fun. The drumming's awesome. I'm pretty sure it's the drummer from Sleepwaker, if I'm not mistaken. I think he did the drumming for this album. I'm like 95% sure that's the case, but if not, then I let me know who did the drumming on this album, because it's great. But yeah, overall instrumentation doesn't feel too much of a departure, actually. It kind of feels very hollow front, which I was a little surprised about, to be honest, because I know Dakota also wrote guitar parts with Lee in the previous album. So I didn't feel like, in terms of the guitar work, I was like, oh man, this doesn't feel like hollow front. I do feel like it still kind of keeps that same sort of tonality. So love that about this song. I think it's a very strong opener, really gets you engaged pretty immediately. And again, it's a very, very solid song to start off the album with. So we are going to move it on to track 2, which is We Are All Left Suffering. Let's get into this one. I don't know which ones are singles, so if somebody could let me know in the comments which ones were singles, or if you're joining me in the chat, let me know which ones are singles, because I'm curious. I have no idea. Ooh. Oh, this is so sick. Ooh. The slowdown? Or are they ramping up? This is interesting.
Let's break their fucking hearts!
Oh, bro!
It's not enough that I waited to start! Who can we ever succeed to run and his noxious greed? Will you ever fruit the state of this human disease?
This is wild. That was a fucking nasty breakdown. That was a dumb song. So good. Guys, we're all left suffering from Hollow Front. If this wasn't a single, I'd be surprised. I think Will I Run was a single. Crash and Burn, I'm pretty sure, was a single. Under Pressure and Letting Go, I think, are the singles, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, if I am wrong. But this song, loved it. I think everything about it was like what I expect from Hollow Front, but like in all the best ways. Really like the like slow down to like a breakdown, and then literally the call out to like an insane breakdown, and then ramping back up again to get back to the chorus, and then slowing it down at the end. I thought that was really sick. I like the way that the song kind of like ebbs and flows with like more rhythmically rather than being like, okay, I think oftentimes when I think about breakdowns or like music in general, I think sometimes I'm like, okay, like they're really building to this point, and then they hit you with like the plateau of like, okay, we're gonna hit you with like the toms, we're gonna hit you with like the cymbal hits or something like that, and then a breakdown's coming. Where I feel like this one, it kind of eases you in, hits you with the breakdown, and then pulls you out to like escalate you to the next phase, which is the chorus. But I think it was very fluid in the way that it went about it, where I think like sometimes it's a little bit more jagged with, typical like metalcore style music. So I appreciate the switch up in dynamics. I think that is really cool, and I hope maybe that catches on, because I think the way that it eased in was really awesome. I think Tyler sounds like a beast. I really, again, have always loved his tonality in regards to his screaming, but I think he's just able to go like much heavier. I think he's able to talk about like really more like poignant topics, I think, in a more aggressive manner. And it kind of finds, I feel like this album thus far, and I've only listened to 2 songs, so I don't want to like assume, but it kind of reminds me of a combination of like of Loose Threads, if that also had a baby with The Price of Dreaming. I think there's just something about it where, like, I don't want to say that Tyler lost his like vocal edge, but I feel like there's just a level of aggression in this album that maybe previous Hollowfront albums, I don't want to say lacked, but maybe just didn't direct it in the right ways. And I think that this album has an interesting way of directing that sort of like aggression and anger. And I can imagine, just based off of the trials and tribulations that this band has gone through, it would make sense that this album is a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more poignant. And so, you know, I think that was a large reason why I wanted to check this out, because I think they have all of these things stacked against them, and I would love to see them do well. Like, you know, that would, I think, to me, would bring such a great story arc to a band that I know kick ass. So it would be very cool to see that. And if you like it, please check the links in the description. But yeah, Tyler sounded fantastic in this. Really love the way, again, very similarly to The Fear Of, I love his diversity in screaming. You have stuff that's a little bit more cutting, a little bit more brooding, which is like his like highs to mid range, and then the lows really come in and they sound like more beastly, and I like that juxtaposition of that. And also his clean singing, again, not to harp on that, but I really feel like his clean singing has gotten so much better. He seems more confident in being able to deliver those types of like vocal melodies and stuff. So it's really sick to hear that and see the growth. So I really enjoy that for the sheer fact of it. But yeah, this one is just a really fast-paced, heavy beater, and I love that. So definitely a vibe for sure, and I think it follows a lot of the same good energy that I feel like The Fear Of has. So another great track that, if you like this one, I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy the rest of this album. But the next song is track 3, which is Will I Run? So we're going to hop into this one and give it a listen. So let's jump into it.
When my mind goes numb, when my veins burn cold, when the pain turns to rage, will I run?
Ooh, I like that. Okay. I like this chorus.
Holding on, the less I show, the more
That was a clean transition. I love the minor tonality of this song.
I'm sorry I couldn't be a better man. I built myself a life, but now I can't watch you go up. I know it's not enough, but I'll take this pain and turn it into love. I won't run again, no matter what was said. There's nothing in this world will keep me from you. I won't run again, all the places I've been. These roads will lead me back to you. When my mind goes numb, when my face burns cold, when the pain.
Oh, I like that double bass. All right. All right, guys, that was track 3 off of Holofront's newest album, The Fear of Letting Go. You can check the links below if you'd like to give that some more love. I thought this one was very interesting. To be honest, I wasn't sure where it was going to go, but I do like the fact that this one, I believe, was a single. I know they released like a music video not too long ago for this one, but it does feel very. It still feels very Holofront, which is always good. But I think even more so, I think this was a song for people who didn't think that Tyler could do the clean singing, because I think, obviously, if you're not familiar with the band, and obviously there's 2 features from Dakota Alvarez, which was their previous clean vocalist, but he had left the band and is now just kind of doing, I guess, like, not doing any musical projects at the current time. But Tyler had to kind of step up and be, both the vocalist, both in the clean department as well as the screams. I think there's a lot of weight on him to kind of prove himself as a vocalist. And I think this song, I would hope, gives people a better idea of, like, what he's going to be capable of doing, what he is capable of as a vocalist. And I think for me, it's cool to see him kind of grow into those shoes. And a song like this gives me a lot of hope that he obviously has the inherent ability to sing very well. Really love some of the, like, more like timbre, like softer kind of like vocal parts at the beginning of the song, and then really ramping up to that really like large higher note. I thought that was very sick. It shows off a lot of his ability to have control over his range and stuff, and really appreciate that a ton. Also, swapping between both the screaming and the singing can be very difficult, and I think there's a special type of person that it takes to kind of do both well. And obviously I know his screaming is great, but I also think his singing is equally as good. I obviously, there's always going to be that level of room for improvement, but I really do appreciate his vocal tonality. And I think you get to really highlight a lot of that in the chorus parts of the song. I think that's primarily where you get to hear a lot of those big belty notes, and it really shows that you can kind of hit that range and stuff. So really love that. I also am very curious to see what they would do live with a song that is where he's singing but also doing the screaming. I'd be curious to see who's going to be doing the vocals for that. I would maybe assume Lee would do it, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'd be very curious to see how they would go about a song like this live, because I know that there was some kind of, like, a little bit of crossover in the vocals. So very surprised on, where that might end up at the end. But this was a good song. I don't really have anything extra to say about it. I think it's pretty inoffensive. I think it has a lot of the great elements of a Hollow Front song, but I do think it's a little bit softer, and I think it shows off more vulnerability, which I love. And having two songs that are a little bit more forward facing and this one being a little bit more reserved or a little bit more in the back seat, I think I appreciate that a ton, and it shows a lot of reservation. They don't have to hit you with an aggressive song every time. So I think for that sheer fact, I enjoy it the most. But we are going to move it on to track 4, which is Over the Cradle. So let's give this one a listen. I think they just released a music video for this one yesterday, possibly. But I know it's one of the last singles, I believe. Okay. Ooh. I like the vocal layering in this. Ooh, okay. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Ooh, little acoustic at the end. Okay. I like this. All right, guys, that was track 4, Over the Cradle, from Hollowfront. I enjoyed this one a lot. It was very, very riffy. I enjoyed the way that the song was kind of switched up, a ton. I thought that was very fun, and I think they kept it very interesting within the song itself. I really enjoyed Tyler. Again, Tyler's clean singing I enjoyed a lot. I think you get a lot of value at actually the end of the song, where it's just acoustic and him. It does sound super nice. I like his kind of like, it's almost weird. He has like a little bit of a warm tonality to his voice. Like there's something about it that, when I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh, okay, he's got kind of like a warmness to it. And that kind of surprised me a little bit, because not that I feel like his vocal takes before haven't been like very warm or not, but I think this was kind of like the first instance where I was like, man, this has a nice kind of like, interesting feeling vocally. So I really appreciate that a ton. I'd also say too, the guitar work on this song was really fun. Lee is such a fantastic guitar player, and I love a lot of his guitar riffs. He's also in this other band called Seraphim. That was, I don't know if he might still be a part of that project or not, but that's when I really started falling in love with his writing style. And I feel like it very much transcends in songs like these, where like that riff was so sick. I love that a ton. And as well as that, I just think the instrumentation as a whole was very fun, very inviting, and it was just overall just a really good song. I love the way that it was kind of arranged, and again, that ending portion of the song is what really kind of hit me the most. So, Over the Cradle, really solid song, and I enjoyed this one pretty much along with the rest of them that we've listened to thus far. So we are going to get into track number 5, which is Crash and Burn. This features JT of the band Era, also of Texas in July as well. So excited to get into this one. I love JT, so I feel like this one's going to be a good one. This feels heavy. I might be right. Yep. Ooh. Let's go. Let's go. This one's gnarly. Oh, come on. Give me that stupid breakdown. I'm ready.
You crossed the fucking line!
Ooh!
Chaos, yes, there's always so much more to lose. Chaos, yourself, just when I felt the breaking through. A lifetime of life, stopped up when everything gone. No remorse, You never inside your fucking soul.
Let's go.
You piece of shit.
That hits.
No, it's so late.
Oh, that was dumb. I love that. That's awesome. All right, guys. That was Crash and Burn featuring JT from the band Era, as well as Texas in July. Yeah, this one's a good one. I like this one. I'm a good sucker for just a stupid heavy breakdown, and this is one of those songs. So I love that. If you just are looking for like just an insanely ignorant song, then this is the one to give a listen to, certainly. I think JT offered just a really cool tonality to this track as well too. I think him and Tyler fit super well within the confines of this song. I always love when JT screams. He's got such a cool tone to his screams, and was a good feature, certainly. I think, to me, the standout person in this is Tyler. I think the screaming on this was absolutely wild. Like where he just says I think he said stupid piece of shit. I'm pretty sure, or I don't know the exact phrasing. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's okay. But just like that hits. Like there's something about it that's just inherently just like, you feel it in your body. It's crazy. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. I also feel like the instrumentation obviously matches up very well with this sort of like pissed off, like angry sort of tonality of the track. The double bass was wild in this song, as well as like the like the orchestral string elements in the song were like, I don't want to say they were unnecessary because I feel like they are completely necessary to the track, but I think they add that just extra layer of like just anger, you know what I mean? It's just like something about it when you just hear just a bunch of strings lined up with like some like 7-string or possibly 8-string, I don't know, maybe dropped guitars. I know it's definitely down tuned for sure, but just the sound of all of those things collectively is just really just nasty, and I love that. And if you're expecting like a really heavy song, I feel like this is the one to give a listen to, certainly, because it just sounded wild, so I love this for every reason why I feel like everybody else should love it, because it's a stupid heavy breakdown song. So give this one some love if you haven't already. I have not checked out any of these music videos either, and I'm sure there's a music video out there for Crash and Burn. I'm pretty sure, so you can double check that one. But the next song is Under Pressure. This one features Dakota Alvarez, which is is a part of the previous album, Price of Dreaming. So very excited, and obviously love Dakota, wishing the best, but obviously wanted to give this one a listen as well. Oh, thank you, Hollowfront, for hanging out in the chat. Tyler, it's been a while. We'll have to catch up sometime. Would love to have you back on, of course. But this next one is Under Pressure, so let's give it a listen. Oh, no video. Okay, interesting. Thank you for the clarification. Perfect person to ask. Did Frankie do the drums from Sleepwaker? I'm just curious. I think that's who it is, but I'm not mistaken.
I've never felt so
Oh, God. Ooh. like this section. That layered scream, so sick. I feel like a breakdown's coming. Yep. Oh, this hits. Let's go. Ooh. Let's go. I love the, man, Lee's got some of the best riffs. He's always cooking, man. It's crazy. All right, guys, that was Under Pressure featuring Dakota Alvarez off of Holofront's new album, The Fear of Letting Go. If you like what you heard, please check the links in the description. Go pick it up if you can. It would be greatly appreciated. I'm sure Holofront would greatly appreciate it. Also, thank you, Holofront, for joining the chat. That's awesome. Love to have you here. Just to confirm, a comment I made earlier, I thought Frankie did the drums for a majority of this album, which is, I'm actually wrong. So I'm going to correct myself live here. They did confirm that Frankie did consult on Breaking Teeth, but they worked with a drummer called Nick Hoffman from the band Wolf Road. So he did the rest of the drumming for the album. So Nick, fucking stellar drumming, man. Awesome. I have to check out Wolf Road now. But getting back to this song, I feel kind of bittersweet. I remember listening to Price of Dreaming. I didn't do a video on it, but I did check it out. And I feel conflicted because obviously I love the way that Holofront's styling their music now, but obviously I have a lot of attachment to Dakota and like The Price of Dreaming, and I love that album, and he's got such a cool vocal presence that I really enjoy. But you know, giving a lot of kudos to Tyler, which is what I mentioned earlier in the video, is like he's also got such a great voice, and it was curious to me as to why that those two things never like wind up meshing together more. Just because I think it would have been really interesting, and obviously it's like a alternative universe if that ever happened. But I really enjoy kind of the way that Dakota is mixed into this song, and very similarly to, I imagine, Letting Go as well. You know, it kind of gives me that like, oh man, I do wish he was still in the band, but I also feel like the next chapter that they're in, and listening to literally The Fear of all the way down to Crash and Burn, gives me a lot of hope that this band is going to continue well on, and they're going to be well off for sure. And I think the way that everything that they're doing previous to this song just further surmises that, but I think that this song also gives that sort of explanation as to like, okay, they can still do it. Like they still, like they, you know, obviously lovely that they included Dakota on the album. but I also feel like it's cool because like I know what they're capable of now. Just because again, I had not listened to any of the songs prior to jumping into this, so I love that. Scott said that this album is definitely top 3 albums. This album to me is good, if not better than Loose Threads. I would agree as well so far. That was when I last had Tyler on, so a lot has changed certainly, but I feel like I have a special kinship with this type of song, which is great. I really do think that this song is a nice like remembrance of that, but I think like the musicality is really great. I love a lot of the guitar styling of Lee. He's like one of my he's a guitar player I always look up to in terms of guitar writing, because he's always coming up with some really fun guitar riffs, and it's always interesting to see him like write interesting riffs, and I feel like this is another example of that, which is awesome. I think Tyler sounds really great in this track. I think there are some other tracks where I feel like he's a little bit more higher up there in terms of the screaming, at least for me. But I think it fits the song well, and this being, I believe, one of the singles, it makes sense as to why they wanted to kind of lead off with, one of these songs. But yeah, overall, really solid track. If it is a single, I understand why it was a single, because I think it meshes those two worlds together of like giving you something that you're already familiar with, but also like breaking out to new stuff that obviously if you listen to the whole album as a whole, then you'll understand the full picture. So if you haven't listened to the whole album, I'm a whole album guy, so that's why I do these album reviews from front to back, because I love just the storyline and where it goes. So definitely stoked. But the next song is going to be I'm going to read this comment real quick from Hollowfront. Losing Dakota is a huge bummer, but we're just happy to still be able to music that we love and have people listen to it. No, I agree, and that was probably one of the main reasons why I wanted to check this album out, was because like for me personally, like I've been following since Still Life, so like for me it was curious to see how much of the roots from like previous stuff before Dakota was in the band to listening to Price of Dreaming and having him be a part of the project and really enjoying that album to jumping into this, and maybe kind of reconnecting some of those roots, as well as maybe getting into some new territory. So very exciting. But this next song is track 7, Breaking Teeth. It's a 2.5-minute song, so I just imagine this is just going to be straight out the gate. So very excited. Let's get into it.
It feels like I'm breaking.
Yep. I was right.
On every bite of life I take, walking through shards of glass, dying to feel something new. Bound to this place, my share give back. Soon I'm carrying every the last of my life. Repressing my need for anyone not winning free. The longer I'm alive, the more I feel the task
Bro.
from the people around me. The more I learn about the world, the less I want to see. I don't give a fuck. And why should I?
Oh my God.
Whether I'm purpose or whether I'm next attack, you won't negate the facts. We can't take it back. Voices keep screaming in my head.
Get your two-step out, baby. Let's go.
What's the point being alive when you're left to yourself?
Bro. I love that electronic elementation. Awesome. This hits. Yeah, let's go. Yep. All right. Oh my God. This hits. Oh. Okay, okay. I love when they do that. A little bit of a slowdown. Yeah, that was nuts. All right, guys, that was Breaking Teeth from Hollow Front. Their new album, The Fear of Letting Go. You can check it out with the links below if you want to give it some love. This one, I feel like needs little to no introduction. It is one of those songs that is just like the best adjective to describe it is ignorant. This is the most ignorant song on the album. I can very much argue that point. I don't think there's going to be more of an ignorant track. I guess you could argue that Crash and Burn is a more ignorant track, but this one is mad. I love it. Tyler just popped off with this song, and I love that because I think for me, like, the coolest thing about just listening to his screams is how versatile his screaming is, from like that super low, like hardcore kind of like heavy metalcore style, like low scream, but then also like hitting some of like the high, like fry, like belty screams that just makes you just like, I feel like I just get pumped up immediately, you know, like I could go pick up a Planet Fitness and throw it into the sun, you know. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, which is great. I think this is fully going to end up on my gym playlist 100%, without a doubt, because I am going to be probably setting a lot of PRs just from this song alone. But I love the track. Really heavy, really aggressive. If you think they've lost their aggressive touch by any stretch, you're dead wrong, because they literally had 2 songs that are extremely heavy. So I love that. I also really enjoyed the electronic elements mixed in. It almost has like, it's weird, like the way that they integrate some of those like electronic elements is very similarly to me, like Electric Callboy, where like some of that electronic instrumentation, like especially some of like the more EDM like bumps, wind up like migrating into the song in like a weird way, but it like works so well with like the electric guitar. It works so well with the drumming, the bass, like the whole instrumentation is just very fluid in that way, but like is still really aggressively heavy, and so I love that. This is probably my front runner track right now. It probably will change maybe by the end of it, I don't know, but if you are in need of a dumb heavy track, this is the one for you. I just want to say that is the highest compliment that I can give in terms of heavy songs. If it just makes me make like a face like that, I feel like, you know, you've got it. So definitely one to go check out if you haven't already, and hopefully you'll stay with me for the rest. We only have 3 songs left, which saddens me a little bit, but I think some of these are really good. Scott, if you're still in the chat, let me know what your favorites are. Tyler, I think Tyler's doing the Hollow Front from the band page, so I'm curious what your favorite is as well. But the next one is track 8. This one is Stay With Me. I think this one's going to be a softer one, just by the naming convention, but I've been proven wrong by that many times, so maybe it is a heavy one. Who knows? But let's listen to Stay With Me. Okay. Maybe wrong.
I'm walking towards the edge again, begging for a return, because I never felt so sick of the thought of another day living without you. I can't stay this way.
I like this. Okay. Ooh. like this big chorus. Great vocals. Oh, I like that. It gets a little gritty. Like that little call and response part too. That was sick. Man, Nick is going off. What the hell? Ooh, okay. I like this little piano soft section. Okay.
Take my life, take my pride. If I were moment, I could be right by your side. Take my soul,
I like the vocals are set back a little bit.
nothing matters. You're
Little string section. Okay. This is gonna be a big chorus. Yep. Ooh. That high melody? All right. Let's go. This is a sleeper hit. This one's great. I have a lot to say about this one. All right, guys. This was Stay With Me from Hollow Front's newest album, The Fear of Letting Go. I really enjoyed this one a lot. I think this was probably up there with Breaking Teeth, which we just listened to. But I love the rawness of this track. I think there's something about it that, like, I couldn't pinpoint where I feel like vocally Tyler was sitting in terms of the clean vocals, but now I really, and it's ironic, it was staring me right in the face. I feel like a lot of his vocal, clean vocals remind me a lot of like Ryan Kirby, who is, I don't know if Ryan's still their manager or not, but Ryan, it reminds me a lot of the way that he transitioned from being just a screamer to be the screamer, frontman, singer, all that jazz. I feel like the same sort of process for Hollow Front was very similarly arranged in that way. And I think a lot of his vocal tonalities is I don't want to say similar, because I feel like, in fact, I feel like Tyler's vocals are a little stronger. No offense, Ryan. But I think that a lot of his conviction, there's something about it that I think Tyler does that really inspires me as someone who is starting out to work on vocals. I think it really inspires me to really have, like, sing with a lot of conviction. And I think that this song is a very good proven point in that, like, there is even parts where, like, vocally he gets like a little rough, and I like that. I think there's something about it where, like, it can tell that you're, like, speaking emotionally, you're singing emotionally, and a lot of that kind of, like, strong emotion kind of pulls through in a song like this. And then even in, like, some of the, like, really higher register notes, especially in that last chorus, was really sick. And I think, again, very similarly to this entire album, I feel like I think this is just proving a point that, like, if you are very dedicated to what you do, like, you're just gonna do it, right? And I think that this album and this song specifically is a very good indicator of like a very good indicator on like why this is such a strong vocal check. I think there's just such a great delivery to it. There's such a great emotion to it, and I think that is fully encapsulated not from the screaming perspective, not from the singing perspective, but a combination of the two. I think this one is like arguably. I'm glad that they did not release this as a single, from to my knowledge. So I'm glad that that wasn't the case, because this is a song that I feel like everybody should listen to off the album. That is like that underrated gem, you know, that one that you go through the album and you're really looking for it and you're hoping that there's one song that sticks with you. And I feel like this one is definitely going to stick with me a ton. So I love this. This is a fantastic song. Probably my favorite from the record, hands down. But yeah, I love. I feel like Tyler's vocals kind of remind me of a stronger version of what Ryan does. So really, really, I think he just sings with a lot of conviction, and I got to give him a lot of appreciation for that. So really, really cool. And kudos to Tyler for just crushing it on this song. I imagine this one was not an easy song to sing in the studio or live, which I imagine they will be playing some of these songs live. So, but yeah, this one was a crazy one, and well deserved of the praise it gets, because it was awesome. And also got to give a shout outs to Nick. Crushed the drumming on this. This man went way out of the pocket for good reason, because it was awesome. He did insane stuff. So this is like the Ryan and Nick show for this song, and I love it. I'm here for it. Swords Corsa said, bro, this album is so great. The mix of heavy and clean, just vibey all around. I'm sorry about Dakota, but keep up what you're doing. And then Tyler, I believe, is in the comments here, said, Stay With Me is definitely up there for me as a favorite. We actually didn't release any of my favorite songs as singles. Oh, okay. Very interesting. And then just to confirm, Ryan is not our manager anymore, unfortunately. Lost our whole management team and booking agent when Dakota left. That's big sad. My heart goes out to you guys. That's, you know, this is why I do this, man. You know, I want to be able to highlight some of these great bands, and like obviously I know they're on a label, but like still deserving of all that love. And there's like 20 other bands that released an album today, so glad I was able to listen to this, and appreciative of Tyler stopping in, hanging out, and tell me more about this album that I didn't know. So love this. Storage Corsa says, Over the Cradle, Crash and Burn, and Under Pressure are phenomenal songs. I think he's saying Under Pressure. Yeah, Under Pressure. Okay, I couldn't read because there's like a heart next to my chat that I can't see. So apparently I'm good at reading things. Anyway, the next song is going to be Good Things Never Last. So let's get into this one and keep going. Oh. What? It seems like half a metal song, half an EDM rave track. I am here for it. All right. That intro is wild. Ooh! I like to blend a little bit of the beginning in this pre-chorus. Ooh, bringing it back. All right, cool. Theming, like it. Oh. Bro. Ooh, that like stuttery like guitar riff, it's so sick. And the vocal layering too on top of that, crazy. Oh, okay. A breakdown, probably. No? Maybe? Building up? I knew it, yeah. Had a feeling. Oh, that was sick. The way they ended it. I like that. A little aggressive, you know? All right, guys. That was Good Things Never Last. Enjoyed this one. This one's a heavy one. I was a little unsure of where it was going to go, but I feel like just listening to this album from front to back, like I kind of had a feeling I knew it was going to be heavier. Love that EDM influence. I was very surprised by that. I think that's something that's been surprising about this entire album is the way that they've incorporated electronic elements into this is really sick. But this one I felt like they fully committed to it. And I like that. The theming of it was really cool. I like that the fact that that intro part that they started the song off with also wind up being kind of like the transitional piece to the second verse. That was really sick. The breakdown was, I like the build up. It gave you a little suspension of disbelief, which I appreciate because there was a certain part where I feel like they were going to build up, they're going to hit you with a breakdown, but then in fact they just hit you with another build up to the breakdown. I appreciate that. That's awesome. I love being subverted sometimes. Always a fun time, especially doing it live. You know, you feel like you're going to get something and then you don't, so it's always cool. As well as that, I think the coolest part about it was like that little second verse. I thought that was probably one of my favorite parts of the song. The way that the vocals were layered, as well as kind of like incorporating more of that electronic elements. That was really sick. And just was a really fun track, really riffy, really bouncy, and kind of a lot of the similar feelings have felt about some of the previous songs that we've listened to thus far. So definitely another really solid one. But I think they fully leaned into that like EDM sort of element. So really cool to hear. And I think it adds this another layer of complexity to this album. So definitely sick. The last song, track 10, Letting Go. This one also features Dakota Alvarez. So we're going to get into this final one. If you enjoyed any of this, please go support Hollow Front. Their new album, The Fear of Letting Go, is out now. You can check the links in the description to go pick it up. I know it's on vinyl. It's on CD. If you can stream it, go do it. Definitely support these guys. I know it's really cheesy to say this, but it's true. If you enjoy the band and you want to support them, first week sales are always a big deal. And everybody says like, oh, why don't you play my city? This is the exact reason. why bands can't play your city. You need to help them do well within the first week, and they'll come to your city hopefully. But this is the best way to help them get to your city. So do it up. But anyway, final track. Enough of my shouting for the rooftops here, but this is Letting Go featuring Dakota Alvarez. So let's get into it. I'm excited. I'm excited, Swords. Sorry, sound good. Ooh. The way they bring that guitar in and the drumming and instrumentation, so sick.
Screaming turns to tears and now we're frozen. Heartbeats racing, I can't let it go. We let it go down, the passion's gone now. We buried the seeds we sown. Our drugs are cold now. You cry alone, how can we let it go?
Thank you for stopping by, Tyler. Come back on the show. Would love to have you. I'll hit you up later. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, I love that riff. Way to go, Lee.
We buried the seeds we sown. Our drugs are cold now. You cry alone, how can we let it go? Can we
I like that halftime ship in the chorus too. Super sick.
Heartbeats racing, I can't let it go. Tears are falling, now we're left here broken. Heartbeats racing, I can't let it go.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. All right. Way to end off the record strong. All right, guys, that was the final song off of the Fear of Letting Go, which is part of the title, Letting Go. And this one features Dakota Alvarez, as I mentioned before. Want to give a shout out to Tyler. Thank you for joining the chat. Much love. Thank you for being in here. You didn't have to be here, so appreciate it. This song, really enjoyed this one. I think the two songs that have Dakota on it, I think this one I enjoyed that much more. He just was going in full like belt mode, and I love that. But I also think Tyler did a fantastic job with this. I think this one kind of feels the most. I feel like this is kind of the song that bridges the gap between this album, The Fear of Letting Go, and The Price of Dreaming. It kind of feels like that middle ground between the two, where you kind of get those vibes of the previous album, but I think it's also very similar to that of this album as well too. So I think it offers this nice bridge if you are a fan of older Hollow Front, especially their last album, then you're gonna probably like this song a lot. But I also feel like if you're new and this may be the first song that you've listened to from them, then this I think is a very good starting point to get you into the group as well too. Really enjoyed the just the instrumentation. I think this is one of my favorite Lee guitar parts. I love the way he wrote some of the guitar work in this song specifically, really well antiquated. And I think he is, again, I know I've mentioned it a lot, but he's such a fantastic guitar player, and I really love the way that he kind of stylizes guitar riffs. I think this is no exception, certainly. So love that element of it. But overall, I think it rounds out the album in a really complete way. So definitely love the fact that this has such a diversity of sound. Like, you know, you have some heavier stuff, you have some more melodic stuff. You have some like stuff that hits home, you know, you have stuff that's just like really aggressive and feels like angry and pissed off, and like it goes through these levels of emotion that I really appreciate from the group, and I also feel like is very evident of some of the struggles that they've gone through as a group as a whole. So I feel like they are very much being true to themselves in that respect, and I don't feel like it's cheesy or like campy in the way that they go about it. I think they're very much being genuine about what they're writing about and how difficult of a time it has been for them to do this. So if you can support them, please do it. I probably say, just to round out this video with some of my favorites, I probably say Stay With Me is my number one favorite. Definitely enjoyed that one the most. I think Breaking Teeth would be number 2. Crash and Burn I think would be number 3. Letting Go I think would be number 4. And I probably say We're All Left Suffering was another one I really enjoyed a lot too. So I'd say those are my top 5 songs from this album. If you can listen to it from front to back, please go do it. As I mentioned before, they have CDs, vinyls, merch. You can go pick it up, go see them. I know they're also playing I think they're playing a couple shows, to my knowledge. If not, you go check their Instagram or Facebook to keep up to date when they're going out and doing stuff. So hope to see them back out on the road really soon, and hope to catch them in person. Would love to catch up with Tyler. As I mentioned, had him on a couple years ago and love to have him back on again. Had a great chat, and I would love to talk to him about this album a ton. But really fun, really good metalcore record. I think overall, like, it was just a fun ride, and I think this album, from my perspective, is one of those albums that's only going to get better with each listen. Like, there's something about it that I think they cover a lot of emotional, like, they cover a large emotional gambit, and I feel like the album is really going to set in or make you feel more of those feelings the more times you listen to it, the more times you interact with it. And so I would highly recommend giving this a listen. I mean, the album is like under 40 minutes, which is, I think, a really good solid like time framing for albums. So if you can give it a full listen, please go do it. But yeah, really stoked to be able to react to this. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to Scott, thank you to Swords Corsa, thank you to Hollow Front for being in the chat. Love you guys. If you enjoyed this type of video, I make a lot of this type of stuff on the channel, so we'll love to see you in an up and coming video. And if you're watching this in the past, yeah, feel free to subscribe. Kind of do this stuff on a pretty regular basis, so would love to see you guys be in a future chat upcoming. But thank you guys for watching. I may or may not be doing another live later tonight possibly, so come back if you feel interested. But thank you so much to Unified. Thank you to Hollow Front, and thank you to Adam Splitter for sending this over. Much love to all 3 of them. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. We'll love to see you in an upcoming video. Thank you, Swords Corsa, for subbing. Much love to you, and catch you guys in the next one. Peace.